Picture this. It's a peaceful Saturday afternoon, at a church youth group rehearsal in this thriving, bustling town.
Right. Sounds like a totally normal weekend.
Exactly. It's quiet.
Yeah.
But suddenly, that peace is just completely shattered by a teenage girl having an absolute meltdown.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she is throwing stones at the church vestry, screaming and stomping her feet with enough rage to basically scare and kill anything that crossed her way.
That is quite the visual to start with.
It really is. So welcome to today's deep dive. We're taking you into the opening chapter of Robbers of Life.
Yes, a really gripping text.
It is. And our mission today is to explore this incredible narrative about how a community's rapid economic prosperity and their deep-rooted trust can inadvertently create the perfect camouflage for exploitation.
It's such a crucial dynamic to understand.
Right. So the source material paints this super vivid picture of Kandundu and Corinda. They're these fast-growing towns near our capital city.
Basically boom towns, yeah.
Yeah. And it thrusts us right into a dark, hidden scandal involving a beloved community figure.
And, this text isn't just a dramatic story. It's a profound sociological snapshot of a community at a crossroads.
Right. A really volatile crossroads.
Yeah, between tradition, sudden wealth, and, honestly, blind faith.
So to really get why this scandal happens, we have to look at the backstory of Corinda and Kandundu.
The economic context is everything here.
It really is. So this whole region used to be coffee country, but then the coffee market completely crashed and lost all its value.
Which usually ruins a town.
Exactly. But the young men there, they pivoted hard. They started waking up hours before dawn to harvest wild grass for zero grazing cattle.
Right, which, for those who don't know, zero grazing means the cows are locked in enclosures.
Right, they don't roam around.
Yeah, so the humans become the beasts of burden. You have to literally bring the pasture to the cow every single day.
And the way they did it is just mind-blowing. The text describes these guys as moving mountains on the roads.
Because of the bicycles, right?
Yeah, they would load these bicycles with grass stacked 6 feet high.
That's incredible.
I mean, you can't even pedal that. They were physically pushing these huge loads in the pitch black.
And they had to move in massive packs, didn't they?
Yeah, convoys of up to 50 men at a time, because the dark bushes were just crawling with thieves trying to steal their bikes.
It's a brutal way to make a living. You're fighting exhaustion, the terrain, and literal armed robbers.
Okay, let's unpack this, because it reminds me so much of modern-day startup disruptors, or almost like old-school bootleggers.
Oh, that's an interesting comparison.
Well, think about it. The plantation managers were harassing them, stealing their machetes, trying to stop them from taking the grass.
Right.
So what do these young men do? They just start bribing the plantation guards.
They just bypass the system.
Exactly. They hustle, they informally unionize with these 50-man packs, and they force the plantation owners to just sell them access.
They essentially forced a whole entrenched industry to legitimize them.
Yes. And then they take that money, they buy trucks, build houses, and build this booming dairy industry. I mean, they were ferrying fresh milk to the city by 3:00 a.m.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, this extreme hard work really paid off.
It did. They even bought shares to start their own milk processing plant when the national firm failed.
Exactly. But that eventual success created a veneer of invincibility.
Like they were untouchable.
Right. But the wealth actually masked the town's underlying vulnerabilities. Like, yes, they were rich, but the severe insecurity was still there.
Oh, the gunfights.
Yeah, you had ricocheting gunfights between police and thieves happening at, 9:00 p.m.
Just a normal Tuesday night for them.
Yeah. And there were specific pathways in town that were strictly avoided after 6:30 p.m.
Because you'd literally get killed. So they were rich, but terrified.
Exactly, which creates a huge psychological void.
And that brings us to the spiritual landscape of Kandundu, which the text says was full of mysteries.
Yes, the contrast here is fascinating.
It really is. You have these booming modern churches popping up everywhere. I mean, some literally just had 2 followers and a pastor.
They applied their business hustle to religion, basically.
Yeah, but then, just a kilometer away, you have the traditional mugumo tree.
The sacred tree.
Right. And people were deathly afraid of this tree. They believed the mysterious echoes around it were spirits.
And they wouldn't even touch the fallen branches.
No, the branches would break and just sit there rotting. Nobody dared touch them out of fear of a curse.
It's such a visceral, ancient fear.
But this is what I don't get. How does a town that is literally dodging bullets at night and is terrified of a cursed tree become so incredibly trusting of out-of-town pastors?
Well, Rapid economic growth often creates a spiritual vacuum.
Okay, how so?
Well, they're living in this cutthroat, incredibly insecure world outside, so they desperately wanted a safe haven.
Like a sanctuary.
Right. The psychological blind spot here is that the community basically outsourced their moral security to the church.
Oh, wow. Outsource their moral
Yeah.
security.
Yeah. They showered these new pastors with food and money because they felt safe there. But they failed to realize that predators often hunt where the sheep feel safest.
That is chilling.
Yeah.
And the text heavily foreshadows this. It says the people were trustworthy until they learned the hard way not to trust strangers with their sheep.
Exactly. They lowered all their defenses at the church door.
Which brings us back to that chaotic church courtyard. So Sarah, our narrator, goes outside to comfort her friend Stella.
Right. The girl throwing the stones.
Yeah. And the text paints this really specific picture of Stella. She has shiny black hair and a red hairband. She's wearing sweet perfume, an untucked red blouse, and a black skirt.
Very detailed.
Yeah, and she's just completely broken, sitting there wiping a watery nose with the back of her hand.
A really tragic image of a teenager in distress.
And then the shocking interruption happens. The beloved Pastor Kian Dondu steps in.
The man of the hour.
Right. And he walks up and brutally whispers to Stella, "I will kill you."
Just completely drops the holy facade.
Yes. And he even threatens Sarah, too.
Right? The narrator.
Yeah. And here's where it gets really interesting, because we need to talk about Pastor Kian Dondu's meticulously crafted public persona.
Oh, it's so carefully engineered.
He's this tall guy, always wearing expensive German suits.
Right.
He drives a spotless dark blue tinted BMW. And he always has a flashy phone and his car keys in his hand.
Making sure everyone knows he has money.
Yeah, exactly. And he constantly brags about his beautiful, soft-spoken wife, just to project this image of the perfect family man.
Which is just, it's wild how he plays them.
I mean, how does nobody see through this guy?
Yeah, it's almost unbelievable from the outside. But what's fascinating here is how the pastor weaponizes the exact symbols of success that Corinda worships.
Like the car and the suits?
Exactly. In this booming town, a BMW and German suits aren't just fashion, they are armor.
Oh, that makes total sense. They respect wealth.
Right. They fought so hard for their own wealth, they view it as a sign of righteousness. So he uses his manufactured authority to demand total submission from these vulnerable teenagers.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
He really did. He bypassed their defenses by looking like one of their most successful men.
Okay, so after he threatens him in the courtyard, he totally panics.
He runs, right?
Yeah, he hastily drives off. And he's driving so erratically that he runs his precious BMW right over the flowers at the church gate.
The mask completely slips.
It really does. And once he's gone, Stella drops an absolute bombshell on Sarah.
And it is a dark one.
It's horrific. She reveals that she has been the pastor's secret lover for the entire 3 years he's been posted there.
3 years. Just unimaginable for a young girl.
And it gets worse. She has endured 5 abortions.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And she is currently pregnant with a 6th child.
It's just a staggering level of abuse.
And she exposes everything. She says this holy pastor actually drinks, he smokes, and he uses extreme coercion to hide his tracks.
He was a complete fraud.
So what does this all mean for the town? Because Stella undergoes this massive transformation in this moment.
She really does find her voice.
She goes from a crying, broken girl sitting under a mango tree to this fierce whistleblower.
She realizes she has nothing left to lose.
Exactly. She declares she would rather die than let this omen, as she calls it, keep spreading.
That takes incredible bravery.
It does. And she has this realization that honestly is the core of the story. She says, those who have gained respect for trust never deserve it.
That is such a powerful line.
Right.
Because it highlights the tragedy of her lost innocence, but it's also a brilliant, critical realization.
How so?
Well, it ties back to all of us listening, really. We all have institutions or leaders that we view as infallible.
Right. People we just trust blindly.
Yeah. And Stella's story is this harrowing reminder that true morality isn't found in a title or, a German suit.
Or a spotless BMW.
Exactly. It really encourages you to question your assumptions and look past that shiny veneer of authority, because respect has to be earned by actions, not just granted by default.
That's so true. And the fact that a teenager had to be the one to figure that out while the whole town was fooled is just tragic.
The town was too busy building their own wealth to see the wolf right in front of them.
Yeah. So just to wrap up this deep dive, we've gone on this really intense journey today.
We really have.
From the bustling, grass-carrying bicycle convoys of Corinda, fighting off thieves in the dark.
Building their empire.
Right. All the way to this dark, shattered trust in a quiet church courtyard.
It's a huge shift in tone.
It is. And we really want to thank you for joining this exploration of how communities build wealth and faith and how easily both of those things can be hijacked.
Absolutely. And I want to leave you with one last lingering question to ponder.
Go for it.
If a community's entire social fabric is woven with unquestioning trust in its leaders, what happens to the town's identity when the people finally realize the wolf was the one tending the flock?
That's heavy.
Does the community do the hard work to rebuild its faith? Or do they simply build higher fences?
Man, that is such a provocative thought to end on. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Keep questioning the world around you, and we will catch you on the next deep dive.